They did it. Your Pittsburgh Steelers pulled off the unlikely. They'll probably be playing in the playoffs next weekend, giving Ben Roethlisberger at least one more game under center. The win came in overtime in Baltimore, where we find KDKA's Rich Walsh tonight.
Well, it wasn't pretty. In fact, it was very ugly at times. The play, the weather, you can still see the weather going on behind me. Everything until the very end of the game when Ben Roethlisberger put this team on his back and led them to a come-from-behind win against the Ravens in his final game here at M&T Bank Stadium against the Ravens. And the Steelers needed a late touchdown in the fourth quarter, and they got one from Chase Claypool, a 6-yard touchdown. That put them up 3 points, 13-10, but the Ravens came back and tied this one and sent it into overtime, and then Ben did his magic. They traded possessions on the Steelers' second possession in overtime. Ben completed a couple third-down conversions, huge third-down conversion, and then the biggest one was a 4th and 8 to Ray McLeod, and that's when they sent out Money Chris Boswell, who nailed a 36-yarder to win it for the Steelers in overtime, 16-13, and Ben goes out on a high note, and the Steelers have a chance to go to the postseason. Also, another big storyline in today's game, T.J. Watt gets a sack, and he ties the NFL sack record set by Michael Strahan a while back, 22.5 sacks. He could have had another one earlier in the game, but the stat keepers here in Baltimore decided not to give him a stat, so he had one stat, also a huge game. 5 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, a pass defense, and he was just in the backfield all the time. And the Steelers, the biggest part of this game, bunch of storylines, T.J. Watt, Ben Roethlisberger, and they have a chance to extend their season and go to the postseason. They need a winner out of tonight's Raiders and Chargers game. That's the late game here tonight. A tie would not send them to the playoffs, so they just need someone to win that game, and then they will play in Kansas City next week. Well, big win for the Steelers here in Baltimore. Rich Walsh for CBSN Pittsburgh.